I want to thank everybody for being good sports during the April Fool's Day charades. I always have a lot of fun doing the April Fool's things, and I know some people take offense to them or whatever, or hate being tricked, or maybe there's a time zone difference. But I just want to say everybody was a real good sport about it. It's just fun to kind of do stuff like that. So anyway, on to today's topic. Now, for me, this is a very near and dear topic because I'm an Xbox fan, and I've been seeing this lately on the Twitter app where a lot of quote-unquote Xbox fans are saying, well, Crap Gamer is this thing called a pony bot, or he's not a real Xbox fan, etc., etc. And I responded to one of these. I'm like, what's a pony bot? Is that like somebody who plays PlayStation and just bashes Xbox all the time? Because I'm not bashing Xbox just to bash Xbox. I want Microsoft to go and rethink their strategy and go back to trying to make Xbox a healthy part of the console competitive landscape. That's a huge difference, right? I'm not hyping up PlayStation, I'm talking about Xbox. So for me, these things, when I come across them and see them, it's kind of sad, like I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, this is really surreal as a fan of Xbox. So PlayStation has different magazines and stuff. Yeah, print magazine, but also like different magazines and things like that are online. This is called PlayStation Magazine, and it says Xbox hits PS5, Hi-Fi Rush, and more former exclusives comes to PlayStation. Could Halo be on the way? And this is a running thing that I've been kind of talking about lately. It's very confusing. And, I mentioned this in a video that I did the other day where it was Phil Spencer talking about the idea of, exclusives and how it would be confusing to consumers to always wonder, hey, is this game going here or this game going there? And maybe to kind of reiterate, I'll let you have a listen to what Phil said then as well. And, then we can kind of listen and talk about it.
But I think more and more about what does a full Xbox experience mean on different platforms, so that because right now it seems like when any game comes out, is this one going here, is this one going there, and I'd rather be able to set more of an Xbox level expectation for our fans.
So that little snippet, which I've used previously in my video, that wasn't that long ago. It was a couple years ago, obviously during the lockdowns, and he's doing an interview with Podcast Unlocked. But the main thing that I would talk about is what has changed since that particular point. And you have Xbox games on PlayStation magazines. You've got everybody talking about Xbox games on PlayStation. He understands damn well what the expectation is for Xbox and for Xbox games, right? Obviously. So what has changed? And the other thing that I wanted to do, which I could have made this its own videos, but I wanted to kind of talk about this in a condensed video so that I'm not doing too many overtly negative videos in a row, although I know some of you probably don't disagree. I've got to speak my mind on this, and I've got to keep speaking my mind on this until something changes, in my opinion. So according to this, it says we're absolutely actively looking for developers behind the scenes with some of the first games from Xbox's new global expansion team. So Xbox is on the hunt for more games, and according to this, which comes via way of Windows Central, they're looking for more games, according to this anyway. This is, I guess, has a little bit more to do with ID at Xbox or whatever, but for me, I saw this kind of tweeted out, and it was interesting because Microsoft is looking for developers and looking for games, and more in-depth, long-form events are also regularly hosted in different regions and have been since this team's inception. They also have Game Camps, which is an initiative where they leverage Xbox Game Studios. According to them, they have 32 studios, and they're leveraging AAA talent to educate and things like that. So that's very interesting, kind of what they're doing. But the thing that really kind of grabbed me was that Microsoft is still looking for games or studios or what have you, and we're in 2024. And to be quite clear, what's interesting about that is that games that were announced in 2019 and 2020, which is 4 and 5 years respectively ago, we still haven't seen gameplay for many of those. We still have no release date or any concrete idea if they're still getting made. And I'll give you an example. Yeah, we're going to get Hellblade 2 in May, but Everwild was announced that same year, 5 years ago, and we don't even know what that game is. Is it still a thing? I mean, we've heard different things about it, but we haven't seen anything for it. Perfect Dark is another example in 2020 that, we saw some of these things. State of Decay 2, Contraband. There's a lot of games that have been announced, and we haven't seen anything from them, and yet we are already hearing that they're going to make more hardware, and that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's like you're going to announce more new games, more hardware, and we haven't got the games that you announced back when the Xbox One X was still a thing. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand the thought process behind that, and at the same time, I feel like what Microsoft is one of those weird companies that, they're making a lot of moves, just in my opinion. And we see some of these articles pop up, like, could Xbox become the next Dreamcast, or, this, that, or the other thing. To me, and this was kind of brought to my attention, and I was sort of blown away by it, quite frankly. But one of the interesting things that was brought to my attention was the parallels between Xbox and and Windows Phone. So here's what they did to Windows Phone right before they closed down. Microsoft spent a bunch of money, billions of dollars, on Nokia. So they bought Nokia. If you were a Windows Phone, think of it as this way: if you were a Windows Phone fanboy, and I had a Windows Phone and I thought they were really cool, you would have been like, they didn't just spend those billions of dollars to close Windows, right? To close Windows phones, but they did. So anyway, they laid off the mobile staff in 2016 after having taken a write-off of $7.6 billion on Nokia hardware assets. While market share sank that year, Microsoft began to prioritize development and integrations with Android and iOS instead, and ceased the development of Windows Mobile in 2017. So, basically what they did was started porting over stuff that made Windows Phone stand out from the competitors. Started putting that stuff on the competitors, and then eventually losing market share caused them to kind of just completely disappear. So again, that is not a very good look, to say the least. Like, the parallels are there. That's not to say that Microsoft would even have to get completely out of gaming, but it is pretty clear that what they're doing right now isn't exactly working, and unfortunately, hopefully that's something that doesn't come to pass. To me, this is a sad state, and what's even sadder is seeing people kind of hype up this type of thing from Microsoft. You're seeing people celebrating it as an Xbox win. Every time financials come out and they're decent on Xbox, people are like, hooray, Xbox is doing great. And I'm like, what are you smoking? Xbox consoles are in the tanker. They're not doing well at all. So, I don't understand that thought process. And, at the same time, people are really kind of going out of their way to misconstrue a lot of what's going on. So I don't know. What do you guys think about this, though? Let me know in the comments below. I really do appreciate it. How do you feel about all this stuff that's going on with Xbox? I know people are tired of the, quote, doom and gloom, but I also feel it's something that people can be talking out about right now. So let me know what you guys think. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.